So, flash cartridges, or cartridges that take micro SD cards for playing ROMs on original hardware. They are a thing, and probably the most well-known ones are the EverDrive cartridges. But they are quite expensive, to be honest. Now, I really like the Game Boy Advance SP as a handheld solution gaming console, call it what you like. If I'm out and about, I really like it. I mean, I like the GPD XD. It's great. It plays so many games, but it's a little bit big and it's expensive, and I'm kind of scared that I will lose it or drop it or something. Whereas a GBA SP, it's just more compact, and I really like the games on it. For games on the go, I think it has the best compromise. Anyway, I thought about, like, do I want to spend that much on an EverDrive? And I had a look around to see, you know, are there other solutions, flash cartridges or whatever, and I came across this, the SuperCard, although with the funny little logo there, the DS logo. It looks like it says SuperCard, but it's not. They seem to, all the pictures on the box seem to show it on a DS, which is strange since it is for a GBA. But it will run on a DS, albeit just GBA games. But anyway, let's have a look at this. Here we have a GBA SP with the cartridge in it. It's clear plastic, so you can see the gubbins inside. You've got a chip there, chip there, chip there. Don't know what that is. Yes. Inside it, you get a mini SD adapter, inside of which you put a micro SD. So you don't get the micro SD card, you get the cartridge with the mini SD adapter. That goes in there, that goes, I'm probably going to put it in the wrong way. Oh, no, I got it the right way. Cool. And you put all your games onto the micro SD. Obviously, you've got to buy your micro SD card. Unfortunately, what they don't tell you in the instructions, because there are no instructions, you need a piece of software you can't just go to a website, download your ROM files, put them on the micro SD card, put it in there, plug that in there and play it. That doesn't work. You need a piece of conversion software, which you would think you would get if you went to www.supercard.cn, but you don't, because that domain name is up for sale and there's nothing there. I found this piece of software basically by googling SuperCard and reading the various reviews that were on YouTube, and they had links to the software. I'm not going to put a link to the software from this video because I can't vouch for the safety of that piece of software, where, you know, it's being hosted at third-party sites. Basically, if you buy one of these and you want it, Google it, you find it yourself. I don't want to be held responsible for a dodgy piece of software being hosted somewhere, you know. The other thing they don't tell you is the micro SD card that you put in here. You can't put in a micro SD HC card, which most micro SD cards you will find these days are. They're high capacity. You're limited to something 2 GB or lower. Now you try walking into a shop these days and finding a 2 GB or lower micro SD card, a non-HC micro SD. You'll be very hard pushed to find one. I couldn't. I had to buy one on, I think I got it on Amazon. But there weren't a lot of them. It wasn't expensive, it's just they're getting rarer because who wants low capacity? This thing does. So anyway, you You get your low capacity micro SD card, you do your ROM conversions, and you dump them all onto here, or rather onto the card. Another thing to bear in mind when you are converting the files, if you're converting a lot, you need to create folders within on the card. Create some kind of file structure so that they're not all just in the root directory, because it has a limited number that it will allow you to put in one place or in the root directory. And after it's transferred that many onto the card, it just gives you an error message. I didn't know about this, and I thought, oh, this is just knackered or rubbish or something. I created an alphabetical file structure. We'll have a look now at how that runs, because again there are oddities here. I made it alphabetical. Game starting with A, going A, game starting with V, going V, game starting with... What is going on? You would think that it would list them in alphabetical order. It's numbered them, but I don't know what it's based those numbers on. Why A is 1 but V is 2. What? I don't know. Can't make head nor tail of it, unless that's just the order they got copied across onto the file in. You know, I just dumped the whole lot in one go and let the computer take care of that, and maybe it came up with that order. It's stupid. You've got these other tabs at the top. I don't really know what purpose this serves. Options. Well, it's not really... Oh no, that's not options. That's options. Enable, set, mu, options. Don't know. Don't know what it does. Auto load saver. Yes, that... You can save games. It's kind of like save states, actually, because what this doesn't seem to do is if you're playing a game and you reach the point where you want to save your game, it doesn't. Where a game would normally save to the cartridge, say it had some kind of battery backup or flash something, I don't know how they worked. This doesn't do it. But what it does do is save states to the SD card, where you press the two shoulder buttons and then various different combinations of the start, select or A and B, and it tells you what those are here, so you can see for yourself. That does work. You just have to remember to do it. So that's all hunky-dory then, isn't it? Let me show you. It does work up to a point, but we'll load a game and you'll see what I mean. Some games run perfectly and some don't. I'll fast forward. Sound is down, which is... You kind of need the sound actually to get the gist, but that was stupid. It's running at a nice speed at the moment. What I need... There. I don't know if you heard that. Oh, look at that. Look at that slowdown. That's tragic. That is tragic. It does it. Some points the game runs at a perfectly normal and acceptable speed. It's just speeded up a bit. But then other times... Other times it's running really slow, and it's down to like the number of characters on the screen and other effects, what weapon you've got. Certainly when you've got the 3 red or green shells and a couple of characters on the screen, it slows right down. And I think I know the reason why. And that is why this is still running in the background. With a normal cartridge, you put the cartridge in, you start the game, it comes out of the operating system, and you've just got the game running in the hardware. I think this cartridge, it's got something running in between the hardware and the game. Now I don't know if it's like some kind of hardware software emulation thing going on within the cartridge, or if it's just a piece of software sitting between the operating system and the game, but there's something creating a bottleneck. And some games like Mario Kart, games that are, well, it's not even all of the processor intensive games, because let me just skip ahead. So here we have a processor intensive game, 3D. GBA was not intended to do this kind of thing, and this is possibly the best 3D game on the GBA. Very processor intensive, and it runs just fine, or as near as damn it. You know, perfectly acceptable as far as I'm concerned. But some games, like Mario Kart, they don't. Certain processes, maybe the Mode 7 type effect, I don't know. But it's not ideal. So here's the thing, this cartridge, well, an EverDrive cartridge for the GBA is something like £80. This cartridge is £12 to £15. It's got problems. You need to use a particular kind of micro SD card that is not necessarily the easiest or most convenient to find. You need a piece of software which is not hosted by the people who made the thing, because their site doesn't seem to exist anymore. And you need to hunt for that and then work out how to use it. And then you've got the problem that some games slow down. Also, yes, this card, from what I've read, it is a Chinese knockoff of the original SuperCard. I don't know who it was made by, but it featured other emulators on the card. It could run original Game Boy, Game Boy Color, PC Engine, NES, Master System and Game Gear. This thing, if you put ROMs for those systems in it, it recognizes them and it tries to run them, but they fail. So I do believe this is a knockoff, and it's been done fairly badly. It's like the only bit they mastered and made it run properly was the GBA, and even that doesn't run especially well on some games. But it's £12 compared to an £80 EverDrive. I actually think it serves a purpose. If you were going to buy, say on eBay, 3 different games that you don't own already, and they're ones that run okay, like say V-Rally or Sega Rally or what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Pinball Challenge Deluxe, which is Pinball Dreams and Pinball Fantasies, both rolled onto one cartridge, which is great. You know, if you wanted those 3 games and you were going to buy them on eBay, buying this cartridge, put the ROMs on, hey presto, they run great, and you can put on loads of other games as well. It's not perfect, but if you don't care about having original cartridges and want to save yourself a bundle of money buying cartridges off of eBay, it is a reasonable solution. Yeah, it is one of those things. It's a bit niche, it's a bit fiddly, it's a very long way from perfect, but it does serve a purpose. It's not brilliant, but £12 to £15, yeah. Make up your own mind, really. I just thought I'd show it to you. This is, I bought this from GearBest. just because I happened to see it there and thought, yay, I'll give that a go. I later found you can buy it from eBay and wherever else more locally, and it would probably arrive a lot sooner. It took 3 to 4 weeks to arrive here from China, but hey ho. I can't say I recommend wholeheartedly that you buy one of these. Really what I'm saying is this exists. You might find it interesting. It's flawed, but it might serve a purpose for you if you didn't know about it already. That'll do, I think. Thank you for watching.
Ah, yes. So, I ring the button that releases the hound to that subscribe button. Oh, hello. Yes. Do subscribe.